Banks are pouring billions into AI, but most will struggle unless they address the foundation beneath it. If you want the real story behind what's working, what's failing, and what's about to reshape banking in 2026, you're in the right place. I'm Diana Rothfuss, and this is Brewing Curiosity, Banking Unfiltered. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're kicking off Episode 1, The State of Data and AI Across Banking. This series is all about cutting through the noise and looking at what's shaping banks right now, the risks, the opportunities, and the reality behind all the AI hype. And I can't think of a better person to help guide us through this conversation today than my colleague, SAS Global Banking Strategic Advisor, Julie Muckleroy. Julie, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Diana. I'm so excited to be here. There is a lot happening across banking right now, and this feels like the perfect inflection point to just take stock of where the industry really is with data and AI.
So, Julie, let's start with context. Your 2026 Global Banking Trends work paints an interesting picture of the last year in banking. 2025 looks strong on paper, record profits, high trading revenue, but the underlying story is much more complex, isn't it?
Exactly. Banks were resilient. They navigated geopolitical instability, inflation, interest rate cycles, and volatility surprisingly well. But there is nuance beneath that story, and that's what's shaping 2026 and beyond. Net interest income plateaued, customer satisfaction dipped, despite continued investment in digital. Regulatory scrutiny increased, credit and liquidity risks became much more uneven. AI expectations skyrocketed, and boards, they're demanding proof, not pilots. So we're entering 2026 with banks under pressure to make much sharper, faster, and better governed decisions.
And that tees up our big theme for today. Banks know AI can help, but they're realizing that AI can only be as strong as the data and governance underneath it. One of the bold statements that I love from your report is AI can't scale on shaky foundations. And honestly, that really hits because right now data is more available, but often less trusted. What are you hearing from banking leaders about the state of data?
Diana, we're at an inflection point. Banks are investing heavily in AI, generative AI, advanced analytics, real-time decisioning, but the data foundation, it's not keeping pace. We're seeing weak data lineage and missing transparency, inconsistent quality, creating inconsistent decisions, fragmented systems that slow down everything from risk to onboarding, governance gaps that stall AI beyond the pilot phase, and siloed data democratization, more people with access, but not more clarity. I like to say it used to be garbage in, garbage out, but now it's garbage in, garbage scaled.
Oh, I love that line, and it really just hits every time because I think it's becoming painfully real for banks that rushed into Gen AI without the plumbing to support it.
Exactly. When executives ask, why isn't AI delivering the ROI we expected? Most of the time, the answer isn't the model, it's the data.
Well, one of the strongest themes in your 2026 trends is what you call the AI maturity pivot, the shift from experimentation to reality. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Sure. In 2024 and 2025, we saw an explosion of AI projects, pilots, proof of concepts, Gen AI experiments, innovation labs. But very few made it to production. In 2026, that's changing because boards and regulators are saying, show me the impact, show me the governance, show me the controls. Mature AI requires trusted and governed data, model risk management and explainability, enterprise orchestration, not isolated models, AI that integrates into decisions, not sitting on the sidelines, and controls and accountability across risk, compliance, and business lines. Banks no longer want 200 models. They need 200 governed decisions that are explainable.
And I love that distinction because AI is moving from novelty to necessity right now, and that's where things just get real. So, Julie, if you had to boil it down, what must banks get right this year to succeed with data and AI?
Yeah, I would say three things. First is fix the foundation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be trusted, governed, and explainable. They need to shift from pilots to production. That means that governance comes first, outcomes come first, and then orchestration comes first. And then I think maybe the biggest and most important is modernizing that technology estate. Those legacy systems kill decision speed, and speed is the competitive advantage.
You know, that's a great point. I think people feel that AI is magical, but really it isn't. It doesn't do everything. It needs data, it needs integration, and the right architecture. You can't run an autonomous event-driven decision on a 20-year-old core. Julie, this was a fantastic kickoff. Thank you for grounding us in what's happening across the banking landscape.
Thanks, Diana. I'm looking forward to our next conversation.
Before we close, I want to preview where we're going next, because this is just the beginning. We've titled our next episode The Data Debacle, where we'll get the unglamorous truth about why data is still the #1 barrier to AI and what banks can do to really fix it. In episode 3, we'll talk about trustworthy AI, where we'll dig into governance, responsibility, risk, and yes, the continuous regulatory wave. And in episode 4, we'll cover the latest around generative AI and agentic AI. What's real versus hype, and how bankers are using generative AI today, the rise of autonomous agents, and how AI will reshape decisioning in banking. Lastly, in episode 5, we'll bring it all together and see what's on the horizon for the industry. If you'd like to take a deeper dive into any of the trends we discussed today, you can find the full 2026 Global Banking Trends microsite linked in the description below. If you learned something today, give us a like and subscribe to the SAS YouTube channel, and click that bell if you don't want to miss the next episode. We'll see you next time.